name's Alice. I live in Southern California. I've never grown any vegetable before, so this is the first time I'm growing any vegetable or growing tomato plants. So like around before March, like early March, before the whole lockdown started, I decided I'm gonna grow some tomatoes this year. And so I went to Home Depot and was looking for tomato plants. And I didn't realize that there's so many different kind tomato that you can buy. So I was standing there reading all these tags that come with the plants that usually looks like something like this, right? And then I found out that there are certain terminologies that I had no clue what that meant. And so I was actually standing there Googling, trying to figure out what type is the better for me, or what type, and trying to figure out what all these terminology mean. So this video is for the super beginners like me that didn't know anything about growing tomatoes. Okay, so before you go shopping for tomato plants or seedlings, and you need to know about, you need to determine certain things. First, you need to know about tomato. They need a lot of sun. Okay, they need about 6 to 8 hours of sun to grow. And if you don't have the type of location that you can provide sun for tomato plants, they're not going to do well, and you're not going to get your tomatoes. So you need to first determine your location, and secondly, you need to know how you're going to water the plant, because tomato needs a lot of water. And if you decided I'm just going to buy the plants and put in the ground or in a pot and don't do anything about it, then you're going to kill the plants, right? So water is very important. Or you want to put your tomato in your flower garden, or you have a planter that's drought tolerant plant, and then that planter only gets like water once every week. Your tomato is gonna die. It's not gonna survive. It needs a lot of water. But if you live in an area that needs you get natural rainwater every day or something like that, then lucky you, and you don't have to worry about it. But for us who live in Southern California, we don't get rain for 3-4 months in the summertime. So we need to think about how we're gonna water our plants. That's why I put my tomato right next to my water hose, because I'm gonna hand water it. So I'm not gonna put it far away from the water source and then have to drag my hose over there and trying to water. That's just too much work. When you're a beginner and you don't have any experience, and your life is busy, and you're trying to, if it takes forever, or it's difficult to water your plants, you're gonna give up. You're not gonna continue. So you need to know where to put your tomato, okay? And for me, is watering every day, so I have to put it right next to it, and this way I can water it. So it's not a lot of work for me. I don't want to create more work. I want to enjoy my plant, right? So that's number 2. And number 3 is about the temperature. So tomato needs nighttime temperature between 55 Fahrenheit to 75 Fahrenheit to grow well, okay? So if you have nighttime temperature that's way too low, then your tomato is not going to do well. So maybe you find some other stuff, plants to grow. But you need to have minimum 55 degree Fahrenheit to 75 degrees perfect temperature for them. If you live in a really hot area, and that's like your temperature get up to 85 degree, and that tomato is not going to do well either. You're just not going to do good. But for beginner like us, you want to make sure that you find a plant or that will suit your environment. You don't want to fight the nature and trying to grow something that is not suitable for your environment. Then your plant's not going to do well. Then you're just going to give up. So this is very important. If you live in a area that's like, say, near equator, and then your nighttime temperature is like above 95 degrees Fahrenheit, then your tomato is not gonna even grow. It's not even gonna flower. It's just gonna drop. So it's not, it's just not that good for tomato plants. So that's number 3. That's a temperature. So these are the things that you need to think about before you even go out and buy the plant. And then once you go out to Home Depot or Lowe's or your nursery, and then you look at these tags, right? And then you need to know, okay, so what is the term indeterminate or determinate? So there are 2 types of tomato, pretty much 2 types. One is determinate type, and within that type there are many different varieties. And so a determinate tomato is just a bush type tomato, and they usually don't grow very tall. They grow about 4 or 5 feet tall, and then they usually set the fruit all at once, right? And then they ripe all at once. So you're gonna have a lot of tomato in 2-3 weeks, and after that the plant just gonna die. It's not gonna grow, and that's it. And the indeterminate tomato is something that it usually is a vine type that will just continue growing and growing and set fruit throughout the season. Say for Southern California, we don't get cold until November, so the tomato plant is going to grow all the way to November. I'm going to enjoy my tomato all the way to November. So that's why I decided to get indeterminate tomato. But even within indeterminate tomato, there are different sizes, right? Because say for this one I got, it's called Husky Cherry Red, right? It's a dwarf indeterminate. So look at this. This one doesn't even grow to, like, the tallest part is like right here, right? So this one is actually suitable for, you say you have a very small area to grow your tomato and you don't want to build a tall trellis or stakes to trying to support it. You can get something like this, and then definitely this will be supported by these you can buy these tomato cages like for $2-3 each from Home Depot, and then it will support it. But see, when I bought my tomato plants, I didn't know that my plant's gonna grow this tall, taller than me, and now it's going down that way, and some of them you can see that it's already, the vine just broke because it's too heavy, right? Or somebody broke it, I don't know. And so, but some of them are just growing that way, right? So when I bought them, I didn't know, so I bought 3 short little cage to support my tomato plant, because they're called tomato cage. They should be able to support my tomato plants, right? Wrong. These 2 plants I bought, they're this tall right now, and this cage is this short. So by the time they go above the cage, I'm like, oh, I need to build something to support it. Otherwise, they're just gonna grow everywhere and make a whole mess. And if you don't support tomato, they're gonna just grow. They can grow on the ground. They can grow like 8 feet wide in diameter or something like that. But then it's very hard to harvest the tomato. It's gonna be low, and then unless you have a very big area, it's gonna take over your garden. So most people will support the tomato vine and with some kind of stakes or cage system. So I had to build this makeshift cage because the lockdown started and I didn't want to go shopping. So I just found whatever I could find in our garage, and I just put something together. And you can see I don't even nail them. I just use like zip ties to tie them together. As long as they're, they can support tomato and the wind doesn't blow it down, I'm fine. I put some kind of bracing system to support them. And this is even like some tree branch that I just cut down from the tree and then just put a little bracing over here. So that's something you need to think about when you want to get an indeterminate tomato, because it just grow and grow and grow until it gets cold, then the weather will kill it. But indeterminate tomato, it's lovely. It can give you tomato the whole season. And look at what we got here. Like we've been eating from these 3 tomato plants every day now, and it's amazing that I can just go out here and pick a tomato and eat it like right here, okay? And then they definitely taste better than store-bought tomato, because store-bought tomato, they have to be picked before they are fully ripe and then shipped to the store. Otherwise the shelf time will be shorter and then it will not last. And so when they're not fully ripe, they definitely doesn't taste good. And when you have your own tomato in the garden, you can actually just wait till they become red and ripe, and then you can just come out and pick them every day. And so the thing is, so that day I bought 3 different varieties. One is called Husky Cherry Red, which is this one. It's short. It's a dwarf indeterminate, which I highly recommend people who don't have a lot of space. You can get this, and then you can have tomato from your garden or your pot or even your patio or something. And then this one is called Super Sweet 100 that I bought. These are also cherry tomato. And taste-wise, the Super Sweet 100 tastes better than Husky Cherry Red. And so if you have more space, or you have vertical space, then you can grow the Sweet 100, Super Sweet 100. It does give you a lot of tomato every day. Look at these, aren't they pretty? And the third variety that I got is an early girl variety, which is these, right? These bigger ones. They're about, the size of maybe a tennis ball or something like that. And my husband loves these. And I actually prefer the super sweet better. I like cherry tomato because to me it's juicier. And these, they are, it's meatier inside. So if you don't like to eat a lot of seeds, or you like the meatier tomato, then you can get this one. It's called Early Girl Hybrid Tomato, but even it says Early Girl, it's really not that early. We had our cherry tomato before tasted the Early Girl, and think about it, because Early Girl, it just these are bigger tomato. It takes the plant more time and energy to produce bigger tomato. That's why they are, it takes longer for you to harvest. And if you want something quick and then satisfy you with the new gardening adventure that you're starting, get a cherry tomato, and you can pick it after you plant them in the ground. You can probably start picking them like maybe 2 months after you put them in the ground. Okay, so I just want to share my experience with the super new beginner. And another thing is that I feel that a lot of research I've done, or gardeners, they grow tomato from seeds or any vegetable from seeds. It's great, but it takes more patience for you to get your result. And for beginners, you need encouragement, and you need to build your confidence. If you start from seeds and then you have to take care of the baby plant, the seedlings, and then unless you're a very patient person, and otherwise you're gonna kill your passion right away. You're not gonna continue. At least that's for me. That I wanted something to boost my confidence, so this way I can continue, and something with good result. And just going to a store and buy the little tomato plants and put them in the ground and start to grow them and start to eat from it really build my confidence. So so this message is for the super new beginners, that right now it's June, you probably can still go out and buy some plants and put them in the ground, and then you can have your tomato from your yard within probably 2 months. And then this way you can start to if you get more interest and you can build more confidence, then you can actually grow other things, and which that's happening to me, because now I'm growing cucumber, I'm growing squash, I'm growing lettuce, I'm growing beans. So it just that I started this journey from just buying 3 tomato plants. So I just want to give you a message that I never done this before. This is the first time, and if I can do it, you can do it too. Okay? Go out there and get some tomato plants today. Bye.